for some grand. Roll out the barrel, we'll have a barrel of fun. Barney Google with great big googly eyes. I tore up your picture when we said goodbye, but I changed it around, can't you see? I tore up your picture when you said goodbye.
CBS. We have a camera crew right here. What we were going to do is when they bring you out, just have the camera follow you until you go in and sit down. Then we'll take a little bit of time, get to know each other.
Makes sense.
And then we'll do the interview. Okay, so what, you just want me to hit?
You think a person would be making a lot of videos for $1,200 that YouTube just offered me? Yeah, YouTube just offered me $1,200.
So, Rose, how are you?
How are you?
I've been watching you on the tube.
What do you think?
Everything. Nothing.
Let me sit here. I want to just go over a whole wide series of things, talking and give you a chance to talk about those things that you'd like to talk about as well.
Yeah, I'd like to relax.
Okay.
That's
Me
what
too.
we're going to do, Charlie, so...
How's your day going?
Day's going nice. The weather here is much better than the weather in Washington, D.C. We left 4 inches of snow, and I got out here and they said this is record warm temperatures.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I've been locked up in the hole a long time. So for me to come out of that cell, it's a whole brand new experience.
We got time.
Yep, they offered me $600. All I had to do was turn on the membership, flip the switch, $600. Then another $600 for every one of you suckers that I could sign up to the scheme. Yeah, you're part of this.
Look at this crew here. I was 5'6" when I got arrested, and then I was 5'5", and then I went to 5'4".
Yeah, and then I read
5'2". I figure in the year 2000 I'll be about 4 foot. You know, one of these days you people are going to have to confront a lot of truth that you're overlooking every day. That news media, nobody can believe anything you say anymore. That's worldwide. Anybody that's got any sense, I watched you talk to the Ayatollah. You didn't have enough sense to even communicate with the man.
What do you think of the Ayatollah?
He's in a hard spot.
Charlie, let's say back to the interview.
Huh?
That they had intelligence that the Japanese were going to attack Pearl Harbor.
The United States started every war we've been in, including the Indians.
It wasn't a question of starting a war there, but there was a question of should have known that the Japanese were going to attack Pearl Harbor.
They had to. They had to. Charles Older, the judge I had,
Yeah.
he shot down 17 zeros before the war started.
Yeah, your assumption is, or you know, that he flew for the Flying Tigers?
Sure, he was mercenary.
Who was it that owned the Flying Tigers? Wasn't there a famous...
Chiang Kai-shek.
But no, I thought it was someone else. It was a widow. There was a woman who's...
Madam Chiang Kai-shek was paying $5,000 a kill. Her priest was in Chicago, out of the Catholics.
I wish I could remember her name, but I can't.
Nancy?
No.
Will you do some talking?
Yeah. All right.
Charlie,
Okay.
okay?
How much time do we have to start with?
Oh, yeah.
That is the dilemma. That's the test. That's when the devil shows up at the crossroads with a contract in his hand.
On television, it'll be in 2 parts on 2 different
Successive
nights.
nights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On Night Watch.
Yeah. This is for CBS. you know about the broadcast. I'm aware that Carol wrote you and told you that with the CBS News overnight broadcast, doing more long-form interviews, I guess, than anyone, and doing more interviews. But it's a conversation than it is an interview, an opportunity for us to engage in conversation with people that we think that there's some public interest in talking to, hearing from. And that's why we're here.
Let me
Hear you talk about the 60s.
Let me explain something about time. You know, we're kind of like in two different time zones. You guys move like this, and I'm kind of moving like this, you know. I've been in jail since I was 9. And that was probably in the 40s, 43. And it's like I live inside looking out. You live outside looking in. The judge, sets on the bench for 6 hours a day, for 5 days a week, for 30 years, and he retires.
Right.
The Holy War was rang up in '69. All those people that was killed, that was just one little scratch. There's been 200-300 more since then, at least. And we've got a whole thing in the field. We're going to save this planet. We're going to save life on this earth. And it's not in the money, and it's not on Wall Street. Does it communicate?
Yes.
It's in the heart of it. It's in the truth.
Where do you get your vision?
Didn't really feel like an opportunity. It kind of felt like like a street, like somebody walking down the street, and the street's YouTube, and the guy walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, this is a nice porch you got here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it." And it hit me right here. It just felt like that. Like everything would be okay if you just join the family.
Where do you get your vision?
Vision. I don't understand.
You don't understand my question? I don't understand where you get the vision.
From my senses.
Yeah, it just comes to you.
From my senses.
Do you read a lot?
No. No, I was born into another thought. I'm not in that chain. I never went to school. I never went to school. I never had parents. You have parents. You have mothers and daddies, and you have things you play. I never played those games.
What do you, that made a difference then?
Yeah, it left me wide open to be what I am. I'm not confused about it. Everything I had to learn about this, you know. Everybody lied to me. Trying to find out I'm wrong.
What are your earliest memories?
In the beginning, I was. Darkness said, "Let there be light." I mean, in the beginning, you know, you live in time. That's what I say. You know, I don't live in. I have no time. There's no time in my life. I'm forever. I've always been. You know, always be. Into it.
Do you remember West Virginia?
I went through there.
Grandmother was good to you, though, wasn't she?
Grandmother was the mountains of Kentucky. She was the mason jars in the big pot and the witch's hat.
Of all the people that have influenced you, does one stand out?
Everyone's influenced me. I'm everybody's
Here's
son.
the truth. I sit here every day, tell people in posts that I write to take back their own time. I do that every single day, right here. And then I post it. If you haven't read them, you should read them. I tell people to put down their phones, not to get trapped in the machine. And then, the machine sends me a message. And you know what it tells me? We'll pay you if you keep them in the machine. See the dilemma here?
Do you like that?
Like or dislike, I reflect, I don't.
You know, there's something in America called the Manson mystique. You know, what is it?
You'll have to ask whoever invented that, because it comes from their mind, not mine.
Do you understand it? Do you deal with it?
I deal with it every day, sure. I have to carry the heat for it. Pressure.
What about your own God? Who is he? Who is she?
Everybody. Everybody I've ever met. Everything. Trees, bugs, grass, life. All life. The only thing that's not God is life that is against life. The people that won't let life live.
I want to do a couple of things here when we talk. Is listen, number one, and have you give you an opportunity to communicate to the audience that I have. The best response you can to those questions. Treating them as seriously as you can in terms of some sense of your own evolution, what you've done.
I did it because I love doing it. Because I couldn't not do it, you know, in other words. And when you love doing what you do, money will always follow that. Money always follows love. So I don't take offense to it.
In 51 years of life, what you think, what kind of forces you interacted with. You know, whether the 60s and the kids of the 60s had more of an impact on you than you did on those you came in contact with.
He didn't have no respect for himself. He's all opinionated and stuck up in his mind, like he's just, you know, you guys get telling lies to make some money. And you get to making big money with these lies. You know, you create these things you got going on TV, and this big crime trip you got, like a big Ferris wheel you got going. There's no such thing. You're creating that madness to brainwash another wave of kids into that, you know. And then you get caught up in it and you get to believing it yourself, you know. And then you have to come back and say, hey, how are you going to believe your own lie? I mean, you can see that you're faking. You can see it's just a sham. I mean, you're making money, okay, you got rich, you know, but take the garbage out of your head, you know, because somebody's got to pay for that madness. The next wave of kids has got to pay for it.
You know, when I listen to you say that, a lot of people would say, well, there's more madness, you know, half of what, there may be a grain of truth in what Charlie Manson says, but also there is a certain, why is his perception of what the media does or what the other person does any more accurate than anyone else's? You know?
Because it's laying on my neck, and I see it a little better. You know, in other words, I'm at the back of the line looking at it, and I'm watching where everybody's going. Regan's in the front. He's not looking where everybody's going. You know, I see where you're going. I've been watching you. You know, I'm not involved in it. It's not my game. You know, I got my game going over here.
So what does it mean actually when YouTube waves $1,200 in front of you? I'll tell you what it means. It means they know that there's a lot of people coming into this Back Porch Tapes joint. That's for certain. They know folks are interested here. And they want me to turn that into something that fits their system. Memberships.
I got my game going over here. I don't need you.
What's your game?
My game is me. I'm king, God, Lord in my road. I do what I want on my road. When I'm outside, I do and be whatever I feel and do and be. I get on my bike and I ride, and don't mess with me. Unless you're big enough to mess with me. If you're big enough to mess with me, then you can play the game with me, and I'll play with you until I can get the upper hand to the situation. you know, and then I'll go on into my dream. I'm just like everyone else. Everybody has a dream. Everybody has a life. Everybody has a heart, you know. They should have. Those that don't, they're always trying to get in my pocket. For some reason, they always want to ride with me, you know. And I get stuck with the publicity of this thing. See, I'm not your leader. I'm not a leader. I've never been a leader in my life. I got a motorcycle. I got a guitar. And girls follow me around.
Why is that? I never understood.
Well, you want to know the truth about it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. I love them, and they know it, and they feel it. And I can go through the heart with it.
And everybody
you know?
needs love.
Sure, that's what the whole game is. You know, when you take all the covers off of it, you take all the pretense off of it, it all boils down to love. But love to you people is buying and selling. It's a pickup truck and a roll of toilet paper.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, all right.
You know better.
Yeah, oh, I know better. Yes, I know better. You know, I put these hands up, and then you put them on fire. And then I stood in the fire with you.
I guess I just don't like locking up my own thoughts and then selling the key, you know? Because real membership is actually free. It comes when when you love something. You're a member of it. You don't have to pay the fee.